Welcome back to the Premier League show. We promised you more from Martin O'Neill and our chief correspondent Carl Vissel, and we won't let you down because we were talking about players that aren't happy at their clubs. Another player who doesn't seem to be happy, Alejandro Garnacho. You've got an update there.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's going to leave Manchester United. Manchester United want to sell him, but the problem is that they value him at £50 million. Now, he only wants to go to Chelsea. Chelsea want to sign him, but they don't think he's worth £50 million. They think he's probably worth almost half that. I think they value him at around £30 million. The reason they think he's only worth £30 million is because they think he has no future at United and he wants to move to Chelsea. So much so that he's turned down a move to Bayern Munich.
Right.
United have been trying to set up a move with Bayern Munich. He said, no, I don't want to go to the German champions. I only want to go to Chelsea. Now, I've been trying to work out why United asking for £50 million for a player who's not in Ruben Amorim's plans. Well, he's an Argentina international. He's still only 21. And if you look at other players with a similar profile who've moved this summer, they have moved for around £50 million. Right. I'm thinking of players like Jamie Gittins, who's gone to Chelsea, or Madueke, who Chelsea sold to Arsenal. So I can see it from both sides. I can see why United are asking for £50 million, and I can also see why Chelsea are sort of trying their luck a little bit because they know that he's going to leave and they're trying to get him on the cheap, effectively.
What do you think, Martin? Do you think this is more United just sort of trying to offload a player?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's to do with Garnacho. In normal circumstances, he's worth £50 million. Right. Of anyone's money, he's definitely a really decent player. And if, as I said to you, if he hadn't thrown toys out of the pram, or way back last season when after the UEFA, where he only got league for the last 20 minutes or something like this here. I must admit, I was a wee bit surprised he didn't start the game myself, but that's beside the point. And Manchester United, in many ways, have said, well, he's not in their plans. And therefore, I would, if I was Chelsea, I'd be doing exactly the same. Yeah. I'd try and get him as cheaply as I possibly could. And primarily because Manchester United, Amorim has said he doesn't figure. So what are you going to do? Are you going to just let a player see the season out? And if he's made his mind...
Let's get to Chelsea now, and the focus is on sales. RB Leipzig are in talks with Chelsea over the signing of Christopher Nkunku after having previously rejected a loan move from Bayern Munich on Sunday. Chelsea value the France international at £43 million this summer. I mean, Dan, one thing Chelsea are very good at, it feels like, it is getting players out. This saga has been going on for far too long, involving someone like Christopher Nkunku, who, you know, we saw the levels he reached before he came to Chelsea. So does this feel like inevitable now to Leipzig on a permanent deal? Yeah, obviously the player and the club both want a permanent deal. I think the loan move to Bayern didn't transpire because of the loan. But yeah, it's a strange one. He just hasn't settled. He come in with a big fee. Really good reputation from Leipzig, scored a lot of goals. He wasn't traditionally a number 9, actually. I think they moved him into that position. Scored a lot of goals, got his big move to Chelsea, and then he got injured very early. And since that injury, he just hasn't come back and hasn't been able to get a run in the side at all. So I think it's now time to move on. I mean, the £43 million they're asking for is a hell of a lot of money. I think they're going to get it. I'm not sure, but Chelsea do what Chelsea do, and they do generate money from sales. I hope Chelsea do get it, Dan. I hope they do. It's almost a domino effect, isn't it, Michael, that, you know, if they can get this one over the line, it then gives them the ability to bring maybe a couple more attackers in. Yeah, look, I think we know from the last few weeks that Enzo Maresca is looking to bring a few more wide players in. Alejandro Garnacho, Xavi Simons is a quality player as well. But look, Chelsea have to adhere to the FFP rules for UEFA. They had that fine, didn't they, earlier in the summer? They've agreed to have this positive transfer balance. So, look, I'm not Gordon Gekko, but if you spend 300 million, you've got to bring 300 million in as well. But look, they do it pretty well, Chelsea. It's got to be said. I mean, especially this summer as well, Michael. Just how well have Chelsea sold this summer? Sometimes I look at it. I look at the two North London clubs. Sometimes I think they, you know, when they're looking to sell players, you know, they sometimes struggle in terms of the fees. But look at that, 24 players sold, £186.6 million. Now, a few years ago, under the new takeover with Chelsea, there was a bit of what's going on here. But look, as I said before, I think, you know, Enzo Maresca, OK, Conference League, they were favourites, clear favourites to win that. But Champions League qualification secured. And then out of nowhere,
winning the Club World Cup. He's done all right.
Yeah, well, that's obviously generated a lot of funds, didn't it? So that paid for João Pedro, paid for Delap pretty much straight away. So that tournament was great for them. The academy system that they run there is excellent, and they sign so many players, and eventually they churn them out. And obviously, with the PSR...
Chelsea are once again making waves in the transfer market, with reports suggesting that Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho are edging closer to sealing a sensational move to Stamford Bridge. The Blues, under the guidance of new manager Enzo Maresca, are determined to strengthen their squad ahead of the new season, and these two high-profile targets could mark a statement of intent. According to Fabrizio Romano, negotiations are progressing rapidly, with Chelsea pushing hard to finalize personal terms and reach an agreement with the players' respective clubs.